a green-white creature deck here with some hateful things. We've got Topical Honor Guard, which we've been playing against like mono green-black decks on Magic Arena. So like, I think this card's really well positioned against those. We've got, yeah, let's just dive in. All right. Oh, I should put it on Stream Decker for people that want to look at it at home. Let's do that real quick, and then we'll dive in. Green, white, Texas. Put it on the Stream Decker. All right, if you at home would like to read some of these cards before we play, it should be on your screen now. Get a link to it there. I'd like to thank everyone for hanging out tonight. My name is Jeff Logan. I'm a full-time streamer here on Twitch. We play all constructed on this channel, so if you're into constructed Magic, it's definitely a place for you. We play a ton of standard here on Arena. We also play some modern on Magic Online. Taxes might be a weird name. I guess that's fair. So taxes refers to, basically taking stuff from your opponent, or like making their cards a little bit worse, right? Is basically what that jargon refers to as far as Magic goes. Pretty easy mulligan here. Get a couple of quick Magic hands out of the way. Vomit. I think that's worse than 4. I'm actually just gonna concede and go to the next game. There's no way we're winning on 4 cards. Eternal Life, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. With the next set, do you think we'll see mana bases of 12 shocks, 12 check lands? I don't think so. Probably something close, but not exactly that many. Eternal Life with the doling out the 5 sub giftaroonies. I appreciate that. Welcome. Yeah, I should have passed to maybe see what they were on. That's a good suggestion. Look at that. We've got a functional 7 here. The Knight of Grace History of Benalia curve is very, very good. Yeah, Field of Ruin might encourage people to play like 3 or 4 basics in their deck. Yeah, I think you're right that ISD and Innistrad had 12 12s. Hotterho, I downloaded your deck list this afternoon. So literally downloaded your deck list this afternoon. I don't think I'm gonna play that deck again. It did not feel particularly good. So I grabbed it this afternoon. Or maybe last night. It was this afternoon or last night. Alright, looks like they are playing black-green. They entered combat. They just like forget to, yeah, they have a land to play out still. Yeah, I think some amount of basics for like Assassin's Trophy and Field of Ruin makes a lot of sense. Do you think they will include good lands in all standard formats that increase the quality of standard as a whole? No, I think always having perfect mana isn't necessarily a requirement for good standard format to be strictly good. I think what tends to make a standard format good more than anything else is just like the diversity of answers that you have in the format. So like having a flexible set of answers so the format isn't just about the threats is ideal. Having good answers gives a little bit more back and forth gameplay. This deck does have honor guards in the main, so we got 4 copies of those. Yeah, good removal I think is more important to a good format than good mana, in my opinion. So Conclave Tribunal has Convoke, which means we can tap our creatures in order to pay some of its mana cost. So next turn might just be like Knight of Grace plus Conclave Tribunal take their largest threat off the table. So that way we can set up History of Benalia next turn to give all 4 of our knights +2/+1 to give a good solid aggressive push. Or they're going to add that to their trophy case. That said, it's probably a pretty reasonable play on their part. We do have a utility land in Memorial of Glory down here, so while we are a little bit flooded here, I really like the utility lands in decks like this because they allow us to turn some of our extra lands into like a spell. Play this out. I think I'm just smashing here. If they want to trade their 3/2 for my 2/2, I'm fine with that. Oh, the double block here, that makes a lot of sense. I think I'm still okay with that. Just like trading my 2/2 for their 3/2. Doom Whisperer. That's fine. We've been saving these this Conclave Tribunal for something like that. Honor Guard's a decent pickup too, so I get to go ahead and do this. And so when you play a Convoke spell on Arena, it always offers you the option to tap manually because it doesn't want to auto tap your creatures. So we'll do this and take the Whisperer away here. The sequencing here is really important on the Conclave Tribunal and the Honor Guard here. You want a Conclave Tribunal first because I don't want my opponent to know that I'm going to have Honor Guard before they make their decision. So, like, if they were to Surveil in response to the Conclave Tribunal, there's a chance that, like, they would Surveil into a card with Enter the Battlefield effect, and then Honor Guard makes it worse. Yeah, the animations in this client are just A+. They're very, very good. That sucks a bit. I think I have to keep the Honor Guard because that way when they get back a creature next turn, we'll be in a little bit better spot, so they can't get back things with Enter the Battlefield effects. Feels bad. The opponent's deck, well, the opponent has a blue splash in their deck. So green-black Midrange, which is similar to the opponent's deck without a blue splash, is one of the more popular decks in the format, and it leans into cards like Merfolk Branchwalker and Jadelight Ranger and Ravenous Chupacabra and other things with Enter the Battlefield effects to kind of hose those. So this lets them Surveil 2 and then draw 2, lose 2. They did not. They kept the 2 they had on top, so that's a little scary. We have Memorial to Glory here to make a couple... So it turns the Seeker Squire into a 1/2 for 2. So really looking to draw like a Shalai at this point, so that way we can start powering up our creatures that we have in play. Look at that. Look at that. Ask and you shall receive, chat. All right, if they don't have a removal spell here, we'll be in a pretty good spot because Shalai's 6 mana activation here lets us put a 1/1 counter on every one of our creatures. Think Bloodbid is too good for standard? Yes. There's another card, the Topical Honor Guard, just like puts in the ground. It's like this would have destroyed our Shalai, but Honor Guard here is just like, nope. Have a big old cup of nope. They said oops, so I wonder if they have a way. This has flying into the battlefield tapped. I think I'm just gonna hit this, right? I think hitting this is better than casting a spell this turn. Like they're dead because they're dead to this next turn, right? Like this hits them for 4 down to 5, and then this activates and kills them. There is not a way to always yield to a particular trigger on Magic Arena. That's something that Moto does that you can't do on this client yet. All right, Shalai is dead.
I despise tyrants like I'll destroy all that you hold precious.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and attack with Honor Guard here. Probably not. Nah, I'm a liar. Of course, Kirby. I don't really have good attacks here because they have this first strike creature. So like I could attack with everything, but it's gonna end up with them killing the Honor Guard. The problem here is the Vraska is just gonna sit here and generate value. They're killing the Honor Guard. They're killing that, which gets the Whisperer back. Okay, that enters tapped. Flourish could be a potentially lethal draw for us here. On the Stacks 20, thank you very much for the 4-month resubscription there. I appreciate that. Welcome back, and thanks for keeping me employed here this month with that. We've run a little bit hot this game. We've run a little bit hot. All right, there you go. Enjoy. So the Sunwing puts them to 1, and then they have to block every one of these other creatures, so that's like with just Doom Whisperers at 1. So the key to calling your shots is if you call every shot, eventually some of them are right. And sometimes 2 in a row are right. You should just run real good. So they kind of need a sweeper here, right? Like we're at a good clean 20, so they can't race. Yep. I'd be surprised if Soot was in their deck right now, honestly. So we definitely want Vivian Reed against their big scary monsters. Players can't cast spells from graveyards or activate abilities of cards in graveyard. Is this card playable, Marty? I feel like this card doesn't really have a text box. The sound effects are very good in this game. I agree. It's like a lot of really cleanness and a lot of it. It's like all feels very cohesive is the word I'm looking for. I think it's pretty bad against aggressive decks on Band Twin. We played the Grixis Phoenix deck again last night. We had kind of a pretty bad run with it. Yeah, I'm not sure that this card is really very relevant. Feels like it kind of just like doesn't have text in this format. This is a Remorseful Cleric matchup. What do I actually want to cut though? Are the Conclave Tribunals worth keeping in? I guess they're kind of a liability, right? Because they have like ways to kill enchantments between Vraska and Vivian Reed. The jumpstart heavy decks. Okay, I'm gonna bring in a couple of clerics and a couple more aggressive 2-drops. I don't think I want Settle the Wreckage. Spyglassing Whisperer is not really what I care about. Like, if you notice, like, when we killed Whisperer that last game, they didn't actually activate the Surveil. Like, Doom Whisperer is basically just like a 6/6 flyer in this matchup. The opponent's deck doesn't actually have that much spot removal in it. They're really more of a creature-based mid-range deck. I feel like Shaper Sanctuary is better suited for something like, say, better suited for something like Jeskai Control or Grixis or Blue-Black that has more point removal in it. It's unfortunate. We lost the first game in this match because we literally mulliganed 2-4 and never had a second land. This 6 is very good, though. We get to curve Thorn Lieutenant into History of Benalia. Probably gonna flower on one just to like line up my 4th mana on curve here. It's weird when we look at chat now because the chat overlay is on the other side of the screen. Oh, that's a good point. Well, actually, so like when I'm looking over here, I'm actually looking at my off monitor. My chat's actually over on the right side. Yep. So that's a 2-3. I think I'm just going to go ahead and Remorseful Cleric here because I would like to start pressuring them in the health total, pressuring their health total with my evasive threat. I really feel like we're kind of the beatdown in this matchup. So I'd like to get my beatdown on. They have Assassin's Trophy in their hand, which will let them destroy one of our things. I love that Arena keeps the hidden information, or the information that you've seen available, so you don't have to write it down. None of that nasty manual tracking type stuff. That is not Jade Light Ranger mana. Disinformation Campaign. That's rough. I think I'm gonna go ahead and ditch this Thorn Lieutenant here. I guess, wow, I didn't realize they were playing Disinformation Campaign. If I would have known that, I would have left in the Nullhide Feroxes. Oh my gosh. Nope, don't do that. Let's go to combat and attack. No, attack. All right, there we go. You need a little arrow. Take Vengeance is worse than Sealed Away. Not strictly, so there are a lot of things that destroy enchantments in this format. And Disinformation is neat. I bet Disinformation is probably pretty good in like the green-black pseudo-mirrors. It'll be interesting to see if they Assassin's Trophy the History of Benalia aggressively here. That gives us a window to stick the Vivian Reed a turn ahead of time because it ramps us up. And my opponent did Trophy this aggressively last time, so I wouldn't be super surprised if they did that here. Which is one of the reasons why I've been the Thorn Lieutenant, like kept my lands in my Vivian Reed, like hoping they would Trophy this so we could play her ahead of curve. I think Seal Away is pretty bad. When we were playing Jeskai Control the other night, the conclusion we came to at the end was that like we wanted to play Lava Coil instead of Seal Away.
Wild animals I like.
If you enjoy playing Limited, you should play Limited, but if you don't enjoy playing Limited, you definitely should just like pick up packs for Constructed Ooh. Ooh. Play that disinformation campaign, baby. Do it. Come at me. I did leave these, and I thought I boarded these out, but I did not. That's sweet. Why would I destroy the campaign? What do I care about this? How much to skip the line, sir? Usually it is a $100 donation to cut to the next deck in line, Burning Pit. Alternatively, you could just look at the decks in the queue and you could cut to the top for just beating whatever points are currently at the top for the next stream. You cue the do it gif, right? Land War Elves, sure. Opponents fumbled and bumbled here a little bit, so it looks like we're going to be in a pretty good spot. Got our Vivian read online.
Break someone like you.
It's so cold.
It's so cold. You could turn the heat up, wife.
You turned it down.
And I turned it down to...
It's so hot in here. I'm freezing.
She had the heat set to 75 degrees, chat. Tell her I'm not unreasonable setting it to 73.
It's so cold. Feel my fingers.
You are freezing.
I know.
All right, turn the heat
Turn
up.
my heat down.
75 is outrageous. What is...
It is a prison. It's so cold.
What's 75 at a real temperature? I don't know. We use America. So the second Nullhide Ferox is actually an awesome draw here, because the Nullhide Ferox as a draw means that I'm gonna be able to play the first one out, and they won't know about the second one, and they'll be inclined to disinformation campaign us and give us the second one for free. 74, happy wife, happy life. Are our monsters in bed?
I thought you were getting me some food.
And then I had a giant host. I can't stop streaming now.
I'm so hungry.
Does the game show you which one they know about? I believe the game always plays the correct one, but I guess I don't know that for sure. I'm pretty sure they play the correct one.
Ooh, wow. Can I make a pizza?
I don't think there was merit to pumping the elf there. I definitely just wanted to play the Nullhide.
8 or less unless you like mold. That's
You
not
should
a thing.
turn up the heat by drawing hotter. To be fair, we've drawn pretty hot this game. I think I just smashed with everything, right? Like Mathis for blockers. Game always plays her. That's what I thought. Alright, they just conceded with
75
blocks.
is not an oven. It is so cold in my house, you would not even believe.
Well, if they're actually asleep, you can run out and get takeout, or you can make a pizza, whatever you want.
How about I entertain the people when you go get something?
You know, you can get delivery. This is America.
Taco Bell doesn't deliver.
Taco Bell doesn't deliver. Get Uber Eats or Mr. Delivery, whatever it's called.
Oh, I want Taco Bell.
They pick up the food and they bring it to you.
No!
Gosh, your life is so tough. Your life is so tough.
Yeah, bring Taco Bell.
David just offered to bring Taco Bell.
I'll even buy you a taco.
I'll even buy you a taco.
Just one. I'm just kidding. Ban him. Just want my name wrong.
That was actually pretty sweet, Marty, by the way. We kind of gave him the business. We lost the first game because we mulliganed down. With the next two, we took pretty handily.
We don't have Uber Eats, and we have a thing called Mr. Delivery.
What's the line about being a 4-year-old? Everything bad that's ever... Yeah, everything that's bad that's ever happened to you is the worst thing because nothing's really happened to you at that point in your life. Can I get a $5 fill the box? I think this hand's keepable.
Isn't that from KFC? A fill-up box?
I have no idea.
I think that's a KFC thing. They
So,
have really creepy commercials.
especially because I drew the fifth land here, I'm gonna hold the Flower Flourish, probably for the Flourish half. We're pretty likely to draw a 6th land at some point here. Conclave Tribunal. So, don't want to play the Sunpetal Grove because this is not. This is not a plane. This would have come into play tapped.
I like the... Which one's the one I really like?
The Crunch Wrap.
The Cheesy Gordita
Cheesy
Crunch.
Gordita Crunch. That's the one. You're just like butt host. Nice viewer count, Hollow Yoshi. Thank you for the 2 months. Yeah, we had a very generous host from Sav.
Alright, should I go?
You can go
Or
if
should I
you'd
make
like.
a pizza?
Whatever you would like. Wait, I'm missing the order. Repeat. Go coordinate with David if he's serious. He might be serious.
Well, that makes me feel like a bad person.
That makes you feel like a bad person. Why is there not a Vanguard in this deck? I don't know. Is Vanguard worth playing?
No, the best thing on the menu was the fries that they took away. Don't at me.
We played the Arcane adaptation deck last night, and you can find the replay on my YouTube channel as always. Alright, so we're flooding a little bit again. I don't think I really want to do anything here. Like, neither of these are particularly appealing to Conclave Tribunal. Conclave Tribunaling something with an enter the battlefield effect is a pretty big liability against green-black because of the ways they have to destroy enchantments.
Let's go to Michigan.
Thanks, Andrew Ryan.
We gotta go to Michigan. They have nacho fries.
They have nacho fries in Michigan. Yeah, transport across state lines.
Wait, why does Michigan get them? And not the rest
Clearly,
of us?
they just love Michigan more than you. Alright, well, you could say we have the Tribunal on our side. I think I'm gonna crack Memorial to Glory here, just to, like, get some stuff going. Although this does lose us our 6th land for the Flourish, but, like, without more creatures, the Flourish doesn't really accomplish anything. The fact that they're not pushing with the 4-3 is pretty good for us.
The west side of America?
I think I'm just gonna go ahead and cast this since I have so many of them. It'll suck if they have a way, like an Assassin's Trophy or something, to get rid of this, but I think I want to just, like, get this Jade Light Ranger out of there. This is definitely one of the first cards we're gonna be sideboarding out in this matchup. Just, like, a pretty big liability. I don't think I want to flower this turn, which might be greedy. It's possible I'm just supposed to, like, flower this turn so I can, like, flourish next turn. Nope. Alright, sweet. So let's do that. And then, just go ahead and pump up the jam here. And smash.
Pump up the jam.
Pump up, the bump up, the bump up, the jam.
I taught Declan to say that the other day.
Pump up the jam?
I told him, pump up the jam, Declan. He said, pump up the jam, mommy.
This is a pretty good trade for us. They're gonna trade 1 for 1 here, and then they take 10. Seems like they're also flooding out a little bit here. I wonder what's in there. That is a little unfortunate. Get the misses this video game. That is unfortunate. So Thrashing Brontodon here gets the sacrifice to destroy an artifact or enchantment, so it's going to be able to take Conclave Tribunal off the table. They have a mana off the Land War Elves to crack this, so I can't even just Conclave Tribunal this to take it off here. This doesn't have a tap in its activation, so they can use it even though it's summoning sick this turn.
Pump up the jam, Daddy.
So Knight of Grace is just a good on-curve threat in front of History of Benalia, is what it comes down to.
What's the little swirly purple triangle mean?
That means it has hexproof from explicitly black. So it cannot be targeted by black cards.
Purple.
Alright, that's a big in.
Why is it purple?
I guess this is a little awkward because now my Flower Flourish costs... I bought Harry's Razors asking me how I heard about it. Twitch isn't an option, so I put online video. I mean, we're technically an online video, right? Is there a way to get a text list off the Stream Decker? Yeah, there's a download button, and there is also an export to MTG Arena button. So you have both options there. My Ferox has been cast down. I really love Ferox as a card, just like how this card is templated. Just like, it's hexproof that like isn't offensive since people can get rid of it. Hey, Lady Fat Rolls, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here this month with that and supporting my content. That's a big jupes. We needed a topical honor guard a lot sooner this game. If we would have found that and been able to shut down some of their stuff, we'd have maybe been in an okay spot. They're flooding a little bit too, so maybe we could be okay here.
It's the only one I have.
Yeah, Thorn's pretty good. Thorn hits hard. I get to go ahead and start attacking with, so Thorn Lieutenant has an activated ability where for 6 mana we can turn it into a 6/7. So if my opponent wants to like stack block this with a bunch of things, they could potentially wear through it. But if we're just like punching through this way, this is like really good for us. Is most of the standard meta wide board stalls. The mid-range creature decks turn into wide board stalls, but there is a wide selection of decks that are legal in standard that do not lead to board stalls like this. I think they're chumping with the Ravenous Chupacabra because they want to take their black permanents off the table to make my Knight of Graces burst, would be my estimate. That would be my guess looking at what's going on this board. Oh, choops. This is going to kill my Thorn Lieutenant and give me a 1/1, I imagine. Yep. Yeah, they also have Find Finality to get them back. That is true. Looking for a Shalai again. Flower Flourish. Do I just like smash here? It's just like not even a good attack is the issue. Because like if I flourish, I can only attack in these two and they just like chump. And like chumping doesn't really accomplish anything because it's 3/4s in the way. Maybe I'm just supposed to bite the bullet and use the Conclave Tribunal on the 3/4, making it destroy this other one, and then like use the other Tribunal just to like break the board stall and start attacking. They found a Golgari Finebroker on top of their deck. That's pretty scary. Really, really want to draw Honor Guard this turn. If we don't draw Honor Guard, we're gonna probably dead. I don't know that we're gonna beat Finebroker into Chupacabra. I guess the Knight of Graces are just like holding the board down. I guess with the Knight of Graces being protection from black or hexproof from black, we're actually in an okay spot. Oh, this is a good line on the opponent's part. Instead of getting the Chupacabra back on this board, they're instead going to get the Thrashing Brontodon back. Yeah, Knight of Grace just like holding down the fort in this board stall is like really good. Now, because they've already pulled the trigger on the Brontodon, I will be able to proactively Conclave Tribunal this because if they kill it in response, I've still just 1-for-1 with the Tribunal. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do this off of these lands. And I'm going to grab the Thrashing Brontodon here because it's still just a 1-for-1 if they sacrifice it. And then honestly, I think I might go Sunwing into second Conclave Tribunal on the Golgari Finebroker, because if I get their 4 toughness things out of play, my Flourish attacks become much more appealing because my 1 toughness things turn into 3 toughness things, which means they can attack into this board. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this with Convoke here. So I get to pay 1 here, then pay 1 here, pay 1 here, pay 1 here. And I'm gonna go ahead and take the Finebroker out. And then next turn I've got 5 creatures and 2 flourishes in my hand, so hopefully we'll be able to just like take them to Pound Town over a couple of turns here. If they hit a way to kill this Conclave Tribunal this turn, we're going to be in a lot of trouble, but if they don't do that, we should be pretty well off. Oh, they get Branchwalker on top of their deck. That's good for us. We're playing Taking Vengeance because it's not an enchantment that can be destroyed by 4 mana Vraska and Vivian and stuff like that. Thanks, Switchbreed. I appreciate that. All right, so Shalai potentially changes things. She doesn't, though, really, right? I just want to smash. Like, I can't die in the backswing. They only have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 altogether. I'm just gonna flourish here. I think I just flourish and smash. Switchbreed, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support there. I know there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine with that. Yeah, Shalai's very good on stall board. Oh yeah, we also just have like a couple turn clock in the air. Oh, you mean the Shalai's a 2 turn clock in the air? I don't know, I feel like I want to just like clean this board out aggressively. Just like this is gonna initiate some trades and a lot of jump blocks. This has first strike, friendo. This has first strike. That's why you haven't been able to attack. Oh, I wonder if they have a find. Do they have a find finality here? Trophy, sure. Nope, they have nothing. They have stone cold nothing. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and just take Vengeance, this Merfolk Branchwalker, to use my mana this turn. How many games have we had with this? This is our second match. We beat a green-black splashing blue, a Sultai deck in the first one. That is unfortunate. Wait, I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is my 10th mana, right? Sweet. So I actually get to pay 2 here. Yeah, I can play and activate Shalai, which means Shalai doesn't die to the finality. And it, like, makes my attack this turn profitable. So, like, my Knight of Graces were dying to this either way. And this way they can't finality. This does mean that my opponent can pick back up Chupacabra plus Thrashing Brontodon and, like, Chupacabra this, I guess. Is there line here? Yeah, they get to find plus Chups. And then I guess this like kind of slides downhill for me because they also pick up the Brontodon, which kills the Conclave Tribunal, which then gets them back another permanent. So they're gonna go kind of deep here. Oh, they took Jade Light Ranger. Deal. Jade Light Ranger seems really good for me. I definitely think they should have picked up Thrashing Brontodon there. So they don't have good blocks on this board. So if I do this, they have to throw away 2 creatures. So if I attack with both right now, they can't kill these, right? If I attack with both, even if they triple block 1, I kill 2, and then the last one doesn't kill this. So there's no point in Flower Flourishing, because if they triple block and single block, I still just come out ahead. So they have to just chump here, even if I don't flourish. So there's no reason to flourish. I don't end up getting ahead anyway at all. Someone asked about knights without black cards in our deck. These knights have been absurd. They've picked this game up and just like run it straight across the finish line for us. Just, like carried it on their back. They can have large green creatures. Or large creatures in general, but if we're able to like keep those creatures in check, we definitely have a pretty big leg up with the knights. Alright. So that's a good one. Brontodon, this is the draw they could have had earlier. So Brontodon kills this, which gets back Fine Broker, which gets back something else. That's a Jade Light. This is going to give them some selection again here, but they're on the double chump block plan again this turn. Yep. Just gonna go ahead and play this out pre-combat because it doesn't save me anything by waiting. So they have to block both, so no point in flourishing. And these are 4/3s because they have a black creature. First strike is real good, yep. God bless keyword magic. Wow, I'm impressed that we slogged that out. I am impressed that we slogged that out. I'm going to cut these Conclave Tribunals because they have that pile of... They have the pile of enchantment removal in their deck. And I'm just going to bring in the 2 Vivians and the 2 Remorseful Clerics again like we did last time and run it back here. The deck didn't look great there, but those Knights need a 40 mil contract. I mean, like, the fact that, like, our draw didn't really come together that well and we still pulled it out, like, speaks to the quality of the cards in the deck, I feel like. Because the Thornwood didn't die to Finality. Terminator, I could pay 6 and make it a 6/7. I think playing 4 copies of the Honor Guard, the main deck, is a great way to attack green-black in general. think that card lines up very well against all of like the Explorer into the battlefield style value creatures that green-black is trying to leverage. I think I keep this. Maybe I'm supposed to mulligan just because of how good Honor Guard is in this matchup. What do we think of that? Like, no play still turn 3 on the draw is a little bit slow. I'm gonna mulligan this. Punished. I'm gonna keep it the scry. I've got some sound advice that's only 100% true, chat. You'll never lose a game because you mulligan to 5 if you always keep 6 or 7. It's just the God's honest truth. Nothing but the facts here. The Arclight Phoenix deck has been pretty sweet. It generates a pretty unique play pattern. This Wild Growth Walker is about to dumpster us. Yeah, if we don't draw a spell here, the Wild Growth Walker's gonna run away with the game very quickly. This thing gains them 3 health and gets bigger every time they explore. Right on time, Honor Guard. This is probably just gonna die to Vraska this turn. Okay, they don't have a land. No land means that Shalai here protects the topical Honor Guard, which is nice. We're dead. We're dead. It's an unfortunate game. Pretty strong aggressive curve from the opponent. 3 power creature on 2, 4 power creature on 3, basically. I think Trophy's good. I think Trophy's playable. I think it's like a card that's like power level appropriate for Standard, but it definitely has more drawback in a format like Standard than it does in Modern, because in Standard, people are playing larger creatures where ramping them up gets them to those cards sooner. The Blue-Red Temporalist. Blue-Red Temporalist is fine. The matchup against the Green-Black decks is pretty close. If anything, Assassin's Trophy makes the Blue-Red deck a little bit better against Green-Black, because Abrupt Decay is better than Trophy against Blue-Red. My profile character is changing because I haven't picked one, and when you don't have one selected, it just cycles through them randomly. Yeah, we've been bouncing between like 1800 and 2000 since Sovs hosted us. This is an excellent curve. This hand lacks green mana, but like Knight into History on the play is very good. And like Field of Ruin is like a slow forest because eventually we get to use it to find a forest. So I think this is one of the few 5-landers I keep on the play. Savich, is that it? Savich, is that correct? Savich. No, that's fine, Philly. So long as you you used my code to get the discount, it'll count towards my Harry's thing. This is a strong curve here, and again, this is one of the reasons why Knight of the Grace is in the main deck, because starting on Knight of Grace here into the History of Benalia means on turn 5 we're gonna have 4 or 3 4/3s to attack with, which is pretty good. They have Thrashing Brontodon here, but if they want to trade their Brontodon for my History of Benalia, I think that's a good trade for us that I'm okay with. Savich. I assume they're just going to trade this here. Man, if this gets to make another Knight, that's incredibly good for us. Sweet, and we hit our green source here, which means we're going to get to curve out into like activating Shalai. No good attacks here, which I guess is a reason to leave this back for the time being. But, like, we're gonna have good attacks next turn, right? Wow, that sequencing is incredibly loose. So, like, now they're trading this just to, like, have us not get the pump here. That is an interesting decision. So starting next turn, I can start hammering Shalai's activation, because ideally I want to get my board, or especially her at the very least, out of the range of finality, which gives all creatures -4/-4. And they can finality as soon as next turn. So I'd like to do this ASAP. So I can start activating this. Pretty good. Also decent. So, do I play into finality here? If I get to untap with both of these, they just, like, can't win the game, right? I think I'm just gonna play into finality here. Okay, deal. It could have been much worse for us, chat. I just want to smash with everything here. This could let them kill my Thorn Lieutenant, which is bad. So maybe this attack is too aggressive. They're gonna get to trade Brontodon for my Thorn Lieutenant here, but I'm gonna clean out a lot of their board. So, like, they're gonna have exactly Ravenous Chupacabra versus these two, which is nice for us. Yep. Oh, they didn't chump block with the elf. Okay, I was kind of expecting them to chump block with the elf to gain 5. I guess it makes sense not to. Because this way, if they draw finality, they're in an okay spot. I wonder if that means they have a 6-drop in their hand. Okay, I assume this is killing my knight. This knight, obviously, the one they can target. I guess I want to kill her. No. By kill her, I mean kill one of their creatures they're choosing. This Vraska could very easily run away with the game at this point. She's going to allow them to turn their lands into potentially more gas by sacrificing one every turn. They definitely have excess resources, which we're not going to be able to do anything with. That's probably the game.
Make way for your captain.
It's bad, man. It's a couple too many lands at the end there. It's possible that my attack with the Thorn Lieutenant, the turn I flourished, was bad there, just because, like, my Lieutenant was worth a lot more than their Brontodon, even though clearing out their Brontodon was convenient. I can definitely see that being the case, that I undervalued my Thorn Lieutenant on the board, just for the sake of being aggressive. And, like, the aggression wasn't ending the game, so, like, it probably wasn't worthwhile. The Thorn Lieutenant hanging out. Yeah, Vraska, if the game gets to a point where Big Vraska gets cast, she is very, very good. This curve's great. It's like 2, 3, 4. Hopefully they're playing green-black, so this honor guard is great. We have magic-related emotes. I don't have any standard-related emotes. We've got a few different. All right. All right, the Honor Guard. I've played against too much green-black mirror match here. God, how good would it be if this card was a knight? It'd be like really good, right? Who put a mountain in your deck, opponent? It's completely unreasonable. This has mentor and makes goblins. I think their angel's gonna be better than our angel. Do they? So do I want to trade these here? I think I do. So like they can trade this for like my 2/2 or my 3/1. I think that's okay with us. I think that's like a fine trade on our end. If they have like a Lyra left over here, we're gonna be in a lot of trouble. Do I want to play the Shalai or just want to play the big boy? Kind of don't mind the fat bottom. I guess the fat bottom is worse with because it turns off the flower flourish in my hand. If I play Shalai, next turn I could go flourish into Nullhide Ferox, or sorry, flower into Nullhide Ferox. The 6/6 shuts the Legion War boss down pretty good though. He takes over the board. The problem is, like, I'm worried about more angels sitting in the air next turn. Like, if they have a Lyra here, I feel like we're probably just too far behind to keep up, unless we rip a piece of removal. Alright, these dorks are obligated to attack. Oh, just the new one is obligated to attack. Okay. We take one in the air. Do you have a big scary? Nope. Okay. That's so sad that this is destroy target tap creature and this thing gives itself vigilance. So I think I want to do this and then flower and then Thorn Lieutenant here. Because I really like Shalai can't block my opponent's Aurelia anyways properly because it's a 3/4 into their 2/5. So I'd like to like get Shalai down while also working towards hitting my 6 land drops. That way I can play Shalai and then start activating Shalai. So if I can activate Shalai, then I'll be able to actually block their 2/5 profitably here and like take this board over. So I assume this is just the same attack again here. Like run this block here like we did last time. Oh, you know what? I technically shouldn't block with the Nullhide Ferox here, and the reason for this is Lava Coil is a card that people are actually playing in this format, and Lava Coil could kill Nullhide Ferox after it blocks a 2-power creature. So we get to play around Lava Coil a little bit by blocking Nullhide there. I guess this block plays into a Chain Whirler or this Firebrand, but I think I'm okay with that. I think I'm okay taking that trade there. So it's hexproof, but anybody can pay 2 to Lava Coil it. Alright, so there's Shalai, and here's the Honor Guard. So we're gonna take a hit for 4 again next turn from the Aurelia, but outside of that, we're gonna be in a pretty good spot. Do I want to attack with this? I don't think so. I think I want to just hang tight for another turn. If they don't kill Shalai, we're probably a favorite to win from here, unless they rip some burn. What's going on, Nick? Happy to be here. Oh, Chain Whirler wouldn't. That's true. And actually, we can read into them not playing Chain Whirler because they're also playing Honor Guard, right? So like they're pretty unlikely to be playing Chain Whirler because they have Honor Guard themselves. Oh, Shalai prevents burn. Sweet, yeah. So if they don't kill the Shalai, we should be a lock to take this game over. All right, so I think I just like get frisky here now, right? Just like start smashing for 7. Like the rest of my board has this going. That's true too. The plains probably indicates they're less likely to have Chain Whirler. So Whirly Boy's not a consideration for a variety of reasons. I think I'm supposed to block. I think I'm supposed to bump here. I don't think I'm supposed to go to... I don't think I'm supposed to go to 2. Oh, they have the Firebrand to kill the Shalai. Also have a shock, sure. Yeah, it's probably a bad block since Shalai protects me from burn. Yeah, it's probably a bad block. Yeah. Yeah, that block was bad. Yeah, that block was pretty bad. We'd be in a good spot if we had I guess it's tough because like the following turn I was gonna have to block anyways and lose it to the shock. Yeah, but like if they did it the next turn, my Shalai would have traded with the Aurelia and the shock, so like the Aurelia wouldn't be on the table, so we're still in a better spot there. I mean, Magic has an absurdly large community. Like this is the oldest card game in existence, right? Like it's been around for 25 years. And as someone who's played a ton of digital Magic and a ton of Magic in general, this arena is the digital product that Magic players have been waiting for I don't know, a decade or more. I don't envision this going anywhere. So we actually have enough mana to flourish through our Nullhide Ferox, so hopefully we draw Flourish here. We're gonna draw a Flourish or a way to kill this Aurelia. Take Vengeance has been incredibly awkward. I feel like they're jumping a little bit too aggressively here, especially considering the fact that like I'm at 1 health. Like every chump is a lethal, like they're chumping with a lethal attacker basically. How am I just dead? This blocks. Oh, it gives it trample, right? It gives it trample. That's why the details are important, Burning Piggy. All right, so we're gonna board the honor guards out against the other deck that's full of honor guards, believe it or not. Settle the Wreckage. Huh. Settle's weird because they probably play Shalai in their deck as well, which makes Settle worse. It's probably still worth playing. Vivian shoots their Angel, which is nice. Yeah, I think the lack of Lyras in the 75 is probably a mistake. The lack of Lyras is probably incorrect. For those of you that are new to the stream, I'm sure we got a few of you, and we got a bunch of people in here tonight. This deck list, like many of the deck lists that I play on the stream, is a viewer-submitted deck list. So, the cards that we are playing here today, one of my subscribers, Marty Punker, has sent in, we're playing their deck list card for card, and we play it for an hour and a half or so, and I tend to give feedback at the end. Hugel, Knight Standard is a great way to finish night. It is, Doof Monster. Thank you for the 9-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. What would I replace with Lyra? Maybe we would just board Lyra. I kind of like that the main deck is like a more low-to-the-ground aggressive deck, but I feel like in this kind of pseudo mid-range mirror match where we're both trying to go a little bit bigger, bringing in some Lyras out of the board could be valuable. We've not played green-black with the Tunuses yet. Someone did a cut the line to get in front of it the other night. Pretty confident that with only 3 lands here, I want to turn this Flower Flourish into another land. Like, I have Shalai as a mana dump in my hand already, so turning this into another land off the bat seems appealing. Thanks, Ark. I appreciate the support. Good slow start here from the opponent for us. I don't know, Nurture. I timed them out earlier for doing exactly that, and I just permanently banned them this time, so they can go complain somewhere else. Some people are just unhappy when other people like things, so they just want to complain about it. Some people can't just let other folks be happy. I think I want to just get rid of this History of Benalia. Like, trading the Conclave for the History of Benalia now is basically like trading it for a 2/2 plus their pump laters. That seems valuable. Fonseca, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here again this month with that. Yes. Okay. Pretty happy to have done that. So, okay. So I've got this. I think I'm gonna flower, and then the nice thing here about the way this turn ends up sequencing out is because I get to play Shalai this turn. Next turn, when I play the land and pass, it'll kind of look like I'm just holding up Shalai rather than the Settle. Although I guess I kind of want to play Knight plus Settle next turn. Nicola MTG, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. I know there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Welcome. Lava Coil, Tilt. Ticket for 4 here, down to 14. Alright, hopefully they'll run into the Settle here. The problem is, even if they run into the Settle, it's like my Knight of Grace versus like their hand. Like, they're gonna have a draw step here too, which means they're gonna have... He's dead, Jim. Nice, Digital. That's a pretty good one. So, this is gonna sound weird, especially coming from me. I think there's too many lands in this deck. So, this deck has 24 lands in it with 2 utility lands, but if you think about it, Flower Flourish is basically a land drop. So I think I'm actually gonna go ahead and cut like these Field of Runes and like maybe add 2 Lyras into the main. Maybe that's the slot where I get Lyra in. That doesn't seem particularly unreasonable. I'm gonna trim these 2 Field of Runes and do that, I think. One way to think about the Flower Flourishes is that in reality, they're really kind of like tapped lands, right? It's not a fetch land, it's like a tap land. It's kind of like an Evolving Wilds. Yeah, I think that's... Like, this is like 26 lands with like 6 tap lands, basically. Yeah, right, I think it feels weird to be the one suggesting that, but that's basically what I think we want to do. All right, I would love to save and exit. Before we start the next match, I'd just like to thank everyone for hanging out here tonight. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I stream basically nothing but Magic on this channel. We focus 100% on Constructed. We play a ton of Standard here on Arena. We also play some Modern on Magic Online. If you're enjoying my stuff, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are the people that keep me employed here full-time. I love what I do here, but the reason I'm able to do it the 30, 40, 50 hours a week that I'm here is because of the people that support me with subscriptions. Past subscribing, you'd also support my content by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. Harry's Razors would love to help you get that nice, close, clean shave. Using code Jeff Hoagland at bit.ly/HooglesHave, you can save $5 on your brand new starter kit with them. That starter kit is as little as $3 with a recurring subscription service, or as little as $5 with no further commitment. Cardsphere.com would love to help you turn your Magic cards into other cards directed to their players. There's no haggling, and they just take 1% fee off the top. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, bags, and all sorts of great stuff there. You can upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of artwork that they have on their website. And of course, I'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hooglandia. Thanks for choosing to spend part of your Sunday night here with us. And there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch, so thanks for dropping in here to my little slice of the internet. If you're enjoying what you see and you want to see more of my Magic, Standard, Modern, whatever content, be sure to check out my YouTube channel as well, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. Basically, everything that I stream gets archived to my YouTube channel afterwards, and I break it up by deck on there so you can watch just the matches that you care about. I think we're gonna go ahead and play one more match here with the green-white deck. Oop, that's the wrong scene. We're gonna play one more match here with the green-white deck, and then we'll maybe play one more before I call it a night. I decided to stay on for some Standard because we had a massive host from Savit. And a 3,000 viewer host, and like about 1,000 of them stayed, which is a pretty good ratio. A lot of people from hosts tend to fall off. Thanks for the consistently great content. Dorax, thanks for the consistent subscription. Thanks for the 5 months and welcome back there. I appreciate it. Times are changing. You know, if I'm being honest, you know, a month ago, I kind of thought that maybe Artifact could have been the future of this channel, but honestly, after playing Arena and how great the Standard format is, this is really the content I want to be making here. This format and application are both pretty great. Yeah, I do, Messy Bandito. Actually, so I didn't plug that during that little pot there. I'm doing a fun promotion with the Harry's things. If 100 people use my code for Harry's Razors, for the first time in a couple of years, I'm going to clean shave my face. So if we get 100 unique individual people who use my Jeff Hoagland discount code to save $5 picking up Harry's products, by the end of the month, I'll be clean shaven. You can get those Harry's Razors in the US, Canada, and the UK. It's a really good deal. Like the starter kit has a handle. I believe it's 5 blades in it. It's like $3 to $5 depending on which package you get. All right, so opponent's playing a counterspell deck, most likely. So I have to decide here how I want to sequence my threats into their counterspells. Because I have 2 Shalais and they're legendary, I probably want to start with her. Because, like, obviously this is the one I care about resolving the least. What do you think of Artifact outside of its $1 million tournament? I honestly don't know. I've heard some negative feedback from people that are in the beta, and I'm kind of skeptical of positive feedback that I've heard from people in the Artifact beta, because I know people who have told me they don't like Artifact as a game, but they're being positive about it in public, like on Twitter and stuff, because they don't want to miss the boat on making content for the game. So, like, they don't actually think it's a good game, but they're, like, saying it's great because there could be a lot of money in making content for it. They, like, think it could be the next Hearthstone or whatnot. Oh, you know what? I should update the deck list on the overlay. We actually just cut 2 lands for 2 Lyras in the main deck, so I will make a note to do that. Yeah, it's interesting, and I think there are a lot of people that are going to be playing Artifact even if it's not a good game, just because games like Magic and Hearthstone don't enable large prize pools. So basically, the people that want to, like, gamble for a living playing digital card games, Artifact is their future. Well, congrats and condolences, Enlightened Master. as a content producer too, as someone who I'm probably gonna play some Artifact on stream when it drops. We play a lot of the new games on stream because playing new games is fun. As someone who is interested in playing games, I'm curious to see how Artifact translates to content, because it looks like it's going to be difficult to follow as a viewer. I also haven't played the game though. Like, Magic can be difficult to follow as a viewer too, so like maybe once I've actually seen it played out, I will think it's okay. Well, kind of like if you compare Dota with like League of Legends, like the amount of people that watch Dota in ratio to League is like really low, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if like the ratio of people that are into Artifact in the ratio to people that are into Hearthstone is similar. So I'm currently streaming from a Linux computer, and the Deckmaster overlay only supports Windows currently, so at some point I might pick up a copy of Windows for my streaming rig, but for now I'm just not. Yeah, I've been playing the Warhammer TCG on my tablet a little bit. I like the mechanics of the Warhammer TCG a lot, but the current constructed format definitely lacks a little bit of depth because there's only one set available. We're pretty good here. So in my opinion, you often hear people complain about control decks in these games, like they're so boring and they take so long to win. I think part of the reason people complain about control decks so much is because they don't know when to concede. Like that game that we were playing there, our opponent's deck wasn't going to kill us for a while, but we were done. We couldn't win that game anymore, and just like conceding and moving on is just like for the best. I think we just cut these honor guards in most places. So your opponent creature into battlefield tap. I think this text doesn't really matter, and I'd rather just like have Remorseful Cleric. Yeah, but there's some people that like want something more than poker out of their game too, though, New Genesis. Like as somebody who's played a lot of poker, poker's a very boring game on average when you're playing it correctly. There's a lot of waiting in poker. If you draw perfectly and they brick for 17 turns, you can win. Yeah, and that's how some people think, right? But like the chance that you hit your, you know, your 0.05%er is just like not worth sitting there and being miserable. Do you also find it incredibly unlikely that you like Artifact more than Center? I think so. I think so. Like a lot of people that stream a lot of games focus a lot on limited, and I don't enjoy limited. I don't enjoy the part of card games that really grabs me as a player is the ability to like latch on to a deck ideas and like tune that deck list. Hey, thanks for checking out. Thanks for picking up Harry's razors there. Look at that. That alert. Let's make that alert a little bigger. I don't know if it gets bigger, but someone just popped up there. Missed the username. Thanks for checking out the sponsor. There's another one there. Thank you for that. Nah, I'm gonna be clean shaven, aren't I? Fans who spend $1,000 on a virtual ticket. Yeah, so sorry, to go back to the thing I enjoy about Constructed, playing TCGs, is Constructed formats really get to like tune and change decks as they evolve, and in Limited you can't do that. And I think even the best designed card game possible, like Artifact can be the best designed card game ever, and I think it's difficult for any card game to have a well-designed one set standard. I think even when it's really well done, just like the amount of depth you can get from only a single set in Constructed is always going to be a little bit lacking. And I don't think when I say that, I don't think. Do you have a code? I do. bit.ly/HugelShave as a short URL, and you can save Jeff Hoagland as the discount code when you go there. If you use the short URL, you'll get to pop up on screen when you pick it up. So the card in the back of my mind is Fiery Cannonade here is something they could have. The other thing though is that they have counter spells. So I have to decide which of these cards do I want to resolve more, and the one I want to resolve more, I want to play second. So do I care about Knight of Grace resolving more, or do I care about Thorn Lieutenant resolving more? The upside to Knight of Grace resolving is that it's an extra knight for History of Benalia to pump next turn. The upside to Thorn Lieutenant resolving is that it's got a 3rd point of toughness and an activated ability. So... I think I want the Lieutenant to resolve. I could also lead on Remorseful Cleric here. I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to lead on Remorseful Cleric here. And if they don't counter this, I'm just going to pass the turn and not let them use their mana efficiently. Sweet. So yeah, so I think they're far enough behind that they basically have to counter anything I play here. So by leading on my absolute worst creature, they're obligated to do that. And then hopefully I get to stick this one and have it resolve. Wow, I think it's really interesting that they chose to burn the Lightning Strike there at the end rather than saving themselves the points of health inside of combat. I'm running it on just Wine Staging Psychic Robot, 1.3.18. Explaining how to play against control is one of the best things a new player can learn from the stream. Yeah, and like, so your sequencing is really important. And one of the biggest things you can learn to do against control is pressuring their resource efficiency. So control decks tend to play bigger spells that go longer. So the way you can get ahead against them when you're playing is by trying to sequence your cards in a way that makes them sequence the resources suboptimally to get behind. I don't have a lot of resources left here. There's like a good chance they have another counterspell here, but at the same time, if they don't have a counterspell, they're probably just dead. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and jam this. You know what? I should have played the Forest here, because if they had a Syncopate, they could have Syncopated this. Hey Jeff, just wondering, what do you do the thing to hold priority? What do you think the priority should be for players that want to improve in MTGA? Just playing a lot of Magic. Practice makes perfect. Honestly, one of the toughest things that makes it honestly hard to get better at Magic is there's so much that goes on in every game. Sometimes it can be hard to pick out the exact moment where you lost a game. Like sometimes, you know, playing the wrong 2-drop on 2 or like playing the wrong land on 1 can ultimately like snowball into losing you a game. So there's a piece of software called OBS, which is actually what I use to stream right now. And one of the ways I think you can definitely get better at Magic, especially if you're playing Arena, record some of your games of Magic that you're playing and then look back over them, especially the ones that you lose. Often you'll be able to learn more from games that you lose than from games that you win. If you really want to get better as a player, I think self-reflection is one of the big key things that you need to do, being able to go back and do that. And recording your games is useful for that purpose because there's so many micro decisions that you make while playing Magic that it can be very difficult to remember them. I'm just gonna go ahead and run back my sideboard plane here. Pretty happy with it. What tools and tips do you have for fixing mana? Frank Karsten's mana-based articles are like the golden rule, and he updated it for Rav, so... And again, if you're enjoying my my time spent streaming here and you're enjoying how I break down my lines of play, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. I've been streaming Standard on Arena here for the last couple weeks now, and basically every minute of gameplay that I stream on this channel gets archived on my YouTube channel. And you can go back on there. We've played blue-black control and green-white tokens and mono-blue tempo and blue-black pirates and some really sweet like Grixis, Phoenix decks that kind of turbo through the deck. A lot of big variety of stuff up there that you can find. If you are watching my YouTube videos, in the video descriptions, I put all of the deck lists in the video descriptions. And if you go to my website, jeffhoagland.com, there's a favorite leagues button at the top where I highlight my favorite set of matches that I play each day while I stream. Zach, I don't have much time to watch you live anymore, but I shall continue to support. Thanks for dropping in to give me that Twitch Prime. I appreciate that. So this hand... it's a little bit slow, but I've got some, like, I could kind of play, it's kind of going to play like a control mirror this game, and if I draw a 2-drop, it's pretty reasonable. This hand needs some more lands, but remember, Flower is basically a land drop, so that's good for us. And we drew a 3rd land, which basically is our 4th land. Get to grab another plains here. I would appreciate if the chat didn't devolve into talking about the Stevens incident this weekend. We are aware that it happened here, and let's just there's a long thread on Reddit that you can go read and participate in if you would like to talk about it. Playing online makes me question if paper magic has insufficient deck randomization because it feels different. So, and this is actually something I've talked about before. The shuffler in digital magic feels different than in paper magic, and the reason why it feels different is because digital magic is so much faster than paper. Hey, Cutie Christine, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. Thanks for keeping me employed here with that. Welcome. You play so many more games on digital magic than you do in paper that you see a wider spread of variance because you're just seeing more hands. In paper, you never actually play that many games. So like you don't see the wide range that you see when you're playing digitally. Falius, thank you for the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome. I don't know that I deserve anything, but I do appreciate it. It's on the main Reddit r/magic TCG. It's got a ton of upvotes last I checked. Got a pretty good curve here. Wow. What are they? So Shalai protects me from burn. I just like casting a draw 2 here. I talked earlier about pressuring the controlled X mana and making sure that you kind of put them off their sequencing as best as possible. One of the pivotal turns against blue-based control X in this current standard format is turn 4, because turn 4 is the turn that they cast their draw 2 card. I'm blanking on its name. It's the jumpstart card that draws 2. So if you're able to play a card that needs to be countered on when they have 4 mana up, generally you want to do that because Chemist's Insight, yeah. Because if you can take them, make them use their mana to counter a spell rather than Chemist's Insight on 4, generally that can put them off kilter. And this sequencing is great here. We were able to amass a board that forced them to react on their turn, which then gave us a window to stick our powerful Planeswalker here. And the opponent's playing blue-red as opposed to Jeskai or blue-white, so they don't have a ton of great answers to resolve Planeswalker outside of like double lightning striking it. This Vivian Reed could very easily run away with the game here. Gutter Snipe, yep. Will the modern format implement an MTG? I would be very surprised if modern ever came to Arena. I do, however, think that we will see a new non-rotating format in Arena before long. Oh, hello, wonderful wife. Oh,
What do you want?
chat, do I want the alcohol or the iced tea? I don't have a bottle opener. Oh, I have a garden hose. It's not a twist off. Why not both? That's probably the real question.
Twist.
Is it off? Okay, listen. Klutz told me it wasn't a twist off yesterday. So in my defense,
This
Klutz.
is what you're drinking?
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! I'm just letting you know that Klutz couldn't manage to do that.
Well, have you met him?
All right, so I'm gonna put the Temple Guard into play here. And then next turn, I can actually go Shalai into Conclave Tribunal because this has Convoke.
Strike me, and you strike nature.
All right, so sequencing decision. I guess I start with this, right? Just like find out what our next card is. I should have done this before I played my land even. Another Shalai. Okay. With 2 Shalais, I probably don't want another. I'm gonna start with this and see where we go from here. Risk factor. So I'm taking 6 here. I'm just gonna let this happen. And then I'm gonna go, wait, does this each opponent? It does each opponent. All right, so I'm gonna Conclave Tribunal here. and take the Gutter Snipe out. If they have another Lava Coil, I'm in a lot of trouble, because if they have Lava Coil, they can Lava Coil this and then Risk Factor me, and I have to let them draw 4, which sucks.
You can't stop nature.
Yeah, the Cleric on the risk factors is kind of a big deal. Let's start by jamming our big angel. And then Cleric covers the risk factors in the bin. Oh, and then Lyra covers Shalai from dying to Lava Coil. Oh, and it is lifelink. Gosh, this card is good. Yeah. Well, this standard format is quite possibly the best Magic format I've ever played. It's very, very good. Yeah, that was sweet. That was sweet. All right. I'm kind of digging this deck. Let's play one more. I'm going to update the Stream Decker, and then we'll play one more before we swap. I added the Lyras aren't on the Stream Decker list at the moment. All right, Stream Decker's current. How many sets will they add until next fall when things get... Well, they're not going to get wiped again. So there's not a wipe coming. So they said they're not wiping again. When fall happens, we'll have a rotation. And then they'll probably introduce a new non-rotating format when that happens. I would be very surprised if a new format is arena only. I think we'll probably see it at the Grand Prix and Pro Tour level as well. Someone asked about how Magic's rotation works. Magic rotates the oldest 4 sets. So basically, all of the sets that aren't guilds will rotate next October. So Magic standard format goes from 5 sets up to 8 and then back down to 5 is how the rotation cycle works. Super aggressive draw on the play here from us. This is really good. If they have a play this turn that impacts the board, we just get to Conclave Tribunal it. I'm honestly going to Conclave Tribunal that, I think. Am I? That's close. Do I want to Conclave Tribunal this? I think I do, just like give them the beatdown. It makes my curves so good. So tap this using the summoning sick ones. Oh, they bin the Planeswalker. Yeah, that's good for us. Good catch, good catch. I didn't pay attention to that. You can tell which of your creatures are summoning sick, which means they can't attack by the bouncing animation on them. Ferox. Okay. That's kind of scary. It means my... And I think I'm just trading a 4-3 for like 9 points of damage here, right? Especially with the Lyra in my hand. Yeah, like 9 points of damage means the Lyra's lethal next turn. I don't know what they're doing. I feel like the honor guards are good though, because they played explore creatures. Now, we actually beat Golgari. I think we went 1-1 against Golgari. Topical Honor Guard is Topical Honor Guard. Honor Guard in general is very good against that deck. Yeah, they seem mono green-ish, right? Will the new format be a modern killer? I don't think so. Magic's a pretty big game. So, like, I think I'm going to trim these because they showed us ways to destroy enchantments. Magic's a game like Modern didn't kill Legacy. Legacy didn't kill Vintage, like, etc., etc. There's a lot of players in Magic. It's like having more ways to play your cards is only a good thing. They haven't announced a new format officially, but Morrow, who works at R&D, is on the record saying that a new format for Magic is a when, not an if. And I feel like we're kind of due for one. And introducing a new format of Magic is just a very natural, elegant way to solve the rotation problem that Arena has. Really, really strong curve from us again here. Just the Knight of Grace History of Benalia 2-3 is just very, very good. I mean, you can already do a bunch of different formats for F&M. Like, F&M can be Modern, it can be Legacy, it can be Vintage, it can be EDH. No, it definitely won't be Frontier. Frontier was a marketing ploy by a card shop in Japan to sell a backlog of singles that they couldn't otherwise sell. Jimmy, thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here with that this month. So, don't have good attacks with my 2/2s into their 4/3s, so let's just go ahead and pass the turn here. No, I would be very surprised if they ever went back and implemented a bunch of older cards in Arena. I think they might backport some sets if they wanted their new non-rotating format to start at like Shadows or Origins maybe, but like going back as far as like encompass all of Magic, I would be very surprised if that ever happened. So my Knights get bigger. Definitely just gonna go ahead and smash here. See if we get some trades. What are my favorite standard decks? Blue-Black Pirate Tempo is my favorite standard deck right now. We'll probably play some more of that at some point this week. I like that deck a lot. So they have this Vivian coming up, which is annoying because she's going to get to shoot down my Shalai. It's basically bad blue-black fairies. That's exactly what it is, Immortal. Not kidding. And I love every second of it. You can find the blue-black pirates deck list in my article on Cool Stuff Inc. this week. You can also find videos of me playing it, different iterations of it on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. There's a deck list in every video description for what I'm playing. And to answer the question about Fathom Fleet Captain, I don't know. I haven't had a chance to play more games with it. They have another Vivian here, I could be in trouble. What on God's green earth is that? Beginning of your combat, put a 1/1 counter on a creature you control, then if it has 3 more 1 counters, transform this. Target creature gets XXL destroy, which is power. Sure. So fire up Shalai. Get a little frisky here. attack with just her in the air. The new frame didn't start with Origins, though. The new frame happened before Origins. I believe Frontier started with the new frame, right? How long are we going for? We still got a ton of people from the host from earlier. I think I'm gonna do one more deck after this. I don't want to go super late because I want to actually be able to sleep tonight. I was streaming till like 3 a.m. last night. But I think I'm probably gonna go for another hour and a half or so. Oh, Percep. All right, so what are we doing here? Hey, Tron Dragon, sleep is for the week. Thanks for the 25 bucks. I appreciate that. I also would like my wife to stay married to me, so that's pretty important too. Happy wife, happy life, chat. This green-white kind of mid-range thing, it actually felt pretty reasonable at the end of the day. I think the mix of Knight of Grace into History of Benalia curves were pretty reasonable. I don't know that this card was very good. This is the Sunwing. One thing that I think is kind of interesting would be to maybe lean into the bigger creature plan a little bit more. Maybe like trimming this for some other cards that allow you to be a little bit more aggressive. Like if you wanted to, to go down the Hate Bears route, you could maybe like cut the 4 copies of this from the main deck and like up the Nullhide Ferox count, and then like move 2 of these Remorseful Clerics into the main. So that way they end up looking like this a little bit. It gives you more 2-drops and like gives you more heavy hitters basically. I think that seems pretty reasonable. This deck and Boros Angels seem pretty similar. Which do you like more? I kind of like what Thorn Lieutenant and Flourish do for the deck. These kind of mid-range decks often feel like they both have simultaneously too many lands and not enough land, and Flourish is basically a utility land that like gets you land early and overruns late. A full-term sub, Jeff, congrats, and thanks for the excellent arena content. It caused me to spend money on Magic again. Arena is good stuff, and the standard format is great stuff. You're familiar with competitive Hearthstone Conquest format. Do you think Arena could make a format work similarly? Yeah, I think that would be sweet. I think that type of format would be neat for Magic. I think sideboarding is one of Magic's biggest strengths, so I don't think I would like only that format to exist, but I think having a Conquest format like that to supplement Magic sideboarding format seems very reasonable. All right, so what are we gonna do next?